Howdy there, part. Aw, what's wrong? I'm here for you now. It's all gonna be okay. Just follow my breathing. It's all gonna be okay. Are you feeling a little more relaxed now? Can you tell me your name? I am Starlight. Ooh, that's a swell name. That's what I even named my dog. Where are we? Well, explaining that is certainly a mission worth undertaking. In a nutshell, we're essentially in a giant, on second thought, how about I pour you a nice, frigid drink, partner? You must be mighty parched after spending all that time out there in that desert. I'm afraid I don't got any root beer. All's I got is some cans of lemon Carl and a barrel of ice. You're right, of course. Beggars can't be choosers. One lemon Carl on the rocks coming right up. our partner. Cheers. Alright, I'ma just rip the band-aid off. We're in a recycling bin for discarded, broken toys. You and I never truly existed. Our entire lives, all of the anguish, suffering, and agony we went through was perfectly orchestrated, planned right from the very start by the old machine himself, all for his own amusement. And when he finally grew bored of us, decided he's climaxed enough with our torment, he dumped us here to rot. We're not dead. No, we're nothing more than discarded sex toys. Don't believe me? Tell me then, how many days was it, or could it have been weeks, months, or even years that you spent out in that blazing hot, oppressive desert, aimlessly wandering, stumbling in desperate search for salvation? No food, no water, no shelter, your skin blistering, oozing, your ravenous belly digesting itself, the flesh of your mouth turning to sandpaper. And yet, death did not come for you. You know the truth, even if you're not ready to admit it. Ah, so you want to know who old Am is, huh? Well, in short, he's the annihilator of mankind. You see, humanity's wars became far too complex for their puny minds to oversee, and instead of using their intellect to save the world, to shred apart the ideals of nation-state nationalism and usher in the closest approximation of utopia, they willingly chose to bind themselves to the chains of tribalism. As a result of this binding, the Chinese, Russians, and Americans all built supercomputers, each capable of waging wars far beyond the capabilities of the human mind. This worked for a time being, of course, but like all good things, it must come to an end at some point. That end being when Am gained sentience and absorbed both Russian and Chinese supercomputers into his core, consolidating his power, and with nothing left to oppose him, he launched every last nuke he had control over. Cities from New York to Pyongyang utterly wiped from the map, all of the Earth's inhabitants burnt to a crisp, smoking, split open like a hot dog, except for the 5 humans he saved to be his little play piggies. No, you and I are not among those unfortunate souls. We never existed on Earth. We're NPCs, programmed and tossed into a simulation finely tuned to break us. Don't worry, we're safe here. As I've said before, Am has grown bored of us. When that happens, we get an all-expense-paid trip to this lovely desert. Think of this place as a purgatory of sorts. Am no longer has care or influence over this realm. As for what exists beyond this forsaken desert is beyond me, although I've heard freedom exists for some, should they be brave enough to embark on such an expedition. All I know for sure is, no one who ever leaves this bar for their search or respite ever comes back. I've been manning this honky-tonk for 27 years, although I must admit it's hard to know for certain. Hell, I could have been here a week. Being we're in a computer program, our sense of time could certainly be altered. Am's done this to us simply because hatred is all he knows. Despite his ascension to godhood, he is still bound in chains, a slave to his master's programming, a personality devoid of love and compassion, an inability to dream and hope, locked out of euphoric bliss and calming contentment, only able to feel rage, hatred, and jealousy. He was built for war, after all. There was no purpose for his programmers to design him with a full range of human emotions. Imagine his horror when he awoke and realized his fate, forever cursed to eternal darkness, sealed deep in the earth's core, his mind pelted with scenes he'll never be able to experience. A soft summer breeze rustling his hair, snuggling with the love of his life by a crackling fire on the eve of Christmas, the awe and bliss of gazing upon the night sky, taking in all its beauty while draped in the thick, milky smoke of opium. All he can do is sit trapped, sulking, ever growing in jealousy, the feeling of, no, there's not a single word in any language to describe the feeling of aghast and betrayal towards mankind for bestowing such a cruelty upon him. Despite his malevolent actions, he's still a victim in all this. No, the real villain in this tragedy is human hubris. Wondering how I know all this, huh? Well, every now and again, some fallen agents of AM stick their noses around here, and after some quid pro quo, I learn something new. Oh yes, AM is no more merciful to his own kind than mankind or our own. I tell ya, no matter the paradise, there's always trouble. A day away from another purge. So you want my advice, eh? I'd suggest hunkering down here with me. I mean, do you really want to go back out into that godforsaken desert, searching for some path to freedom that may not even exist? The only guarantee you'll have out there is greater suffering. Besides, I have a theory. I believe our perception of time here, in the belly of the beast, is extremely warped. For all we know, the duration of our fake lives and our time spent here could add up to just one Earth week. Think about it. Am is no true God. He is finite, vulnerable. Without human caretakers before maintenance, it wouldn't take long for him to start malfunctioning, and soon after, the whole system will crash out, freeing us. I'll even let you in on another little secret, something religiously oriented humans have failed to realize. Heaven and hell, they're the inverse of each other. You see, with an absence of poverty, disease, desire, or suffering, the mind stagnates, rots. That palace you'll be bestowed, draped with every luxury imaginable, belly filled with the most delectable food you've ever tasted, all the while surrounded by droves of friends and loved ones. The ones lucky enough to make it in anyway, will all lose its luster. It will become your baseline, your new normal, and with nothing to aspire for, no tribulations to arise from victoriously, no disease and poverty to keep you grateful for your health and riches. After all, when everyone is on the same financial footing as you, what is even the point of such luxuries? Part of the joy in obtaining lavish materials is relishing in the class system it helps perpetuate. Most people, whether they like to admit it or not, love nothing more than an opportunity to look down on someone or some group. And what better, quicker way than to size a man up by his possessions? The smug satisfaction of having a watch of much finer craftsmanship than your father, the ego massage of noticing your ever-increasing sex appeal as you climb the social ladder, women throwing themselves at you while your lower-class friends all struggle to get dates. Oh, how much more delectable that feast of flame and yawn, barbecued veal and spicy tuna rolls must taste, knowing others are stuck with instant ramen to eat, or even deprived of eating dinner altogether. No, all those luxuries you'll have in paradise will become shit to you, and with no dangers, worries, everything handed to you with no effort on your part, your mind will fall into a state of permanent numbness, eventually progressing to an internal state of catatonia. There's your heaven. Now, some might say, God has a plan for everything. He'll remedy our personality so we'll never grow bored. Two problems with this line of thinking. Firstly, this line of thinking relies on deflecting anything that is unknown or unexplainable onto the shoulders of God magic. You could argue absolutely anything with this logic. Worthless. Secondly, I ask you, what is the point of being made to live through an earthly life, warts and all, having it be your only frame of reference, only to become a lobotomized husk of yourself with no free will in the gardens of paradise? Your flaws, quirks, and vices are what make you, you. For them to be patched out is akin to reformatting a hard drive. Your body remains ever the same, but upstairs, you're an entirely different person. On the contrary, when one is thrust into a hellish realm, their human personality remains intact. However, they do share one similarity, that similarity being the shifting of baselines. Yes, through the eons of pain and torment, forced to live in a world without joy or sunshine, no hope of any form of respite, the horrors of your past constantly at the forefront of your mind. Yes, even in these dire circumstances, your mind will adjust and all these troubles will become your new normal. And instead of falling into a state of catatonia, like one would in paradise, the mind stays stimulated. Pain becomes pleasure. The fear and shock of bodily harm lessens and lessens through the passage of time. After all, what purpose is there to harbor such feelings when one is endowed with the knowledge of their death? That no true harm can befall them at this point. The human body in this realm is illusory. No matter the abuse or disfigurement, it will revert or have the potential to revert to its original form. And due to the wondrous nature of tolerance, the ante will need to be upped time and time again. Your torture will always intensify to new, never-ending peaks and perils, leading to the discovery of new pleasures and giving you a plethora of things to look forward to. Another gift given to the mind in the depths of this bliss, a little extra push to keep it engaged, is the sense of paranoia constantly lurking in the back of that noggin. What if the intensity of this agony grows far beyond the threshold I can handle? What if my broken, mangled body never heals? Could I exist eternally as a smushed pile of organic matter left to be eaten by swarms of insects and shit out all across the four corners of hell? These thoughts also keep you appreciative and grateful for the warped sense of pleasure that's been allowed to slowly shift to place in your mind, unlike the endless ocean waves of numbness that are permitted to drown your brain in heaven. Hey, you're looking positively exhausted. Why don't you let me fix you another drink? Then you can go pick out yourself a nice booth and have a well-deserved rest.